My name is Ash Singh. I'm part of the Melbourne Angels Investment Committee. How are you doing today?
I'm great. I just have an idea that I want to share with you.
Great. Go ahead.
So I'm Dan Lazar from HeroX, and we're creating a platform where investors can trade tokenized properties as we enable fractionalization and offer them enhanced liquidity. As you may know, the global real estate market is $280 trillion in size, and we aim to bring that on chain. Just a few days ago, we won the Fibre tokenization challenge and got a $50,000 prize. And we successfully tokenized the first property in Australia. We think tokenization is the future of property investment. Therefore, we're building a rocket at the intersection of the biggest market in the world, the global real estate market, and the fastest growing technology in the world, the blockchain technology. In order to accelerate our growth and scale the platform, we're seeking $1 million in funding. And as I know that you have a lot of experience in the space, I wanted to reach out and see if you can help us with a mentoring session over coffee.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Dan. Appreciate that. Let's talk a little bit about some feedback on what you're doing, right? So you have Hero Holdings, you called it HeroX, right? Your platform is HeroX, okay?
Yeah.
And what you're saying is that your platform allows people to trade and buy physical properties, okay? And you've been able to allow it to have fractional investment, okay? So what's happening is in markets like Australia, Melbourne, Sydney, the idea of owning or investing in real estate, okay, is a very difficult proposition. It's expensive to do, and sometimes you just want to be a part of the growth, but you don't want to actually have the whole headache of managing and servicing a property, right? Okay. And so what you're doing is you're saying that you have created an on-chain, a blockchain-based platform that allows anyone to participate. And your value add around that is, because there are platforms out there already that offer fractional ownership of things, but because you're doing it on chain, you're able to offer this at a much cheaper price, right? The fees and everything associated with it are much lower. So the person that would buy a property and get a 5 or 10% yield with 1 or 2% fees, you've been able to reduce the fees on chain and be able to offer this to a much wider audience. And what you're also able to do, because it's on chain, you can actually allow external parties to actually invest in real estate now as well, right? So overseas buyers can kind of come into your platform as well as a quick and easy way to become foreign investors into real estate without all the regulation headache as well, Dan. Is that correct?
That's exactly it. We have a few layers on top of that, but that's.
Yeah. Did I summarize what you do?
Definitely.
Okay. All right. So when I think about what you're doing, the key thing around it that I wanted to come out, and congratulations on your success with the recent competitions. What we want to do, Dan, is we want you to become that razor sharp investor, the elevator pitch person. And so what I wanted to know, based on what I just talked about, was how is this better than the existing current fractional investment platforms, right? You know, in terms of fees, how much cheaper is it, Dan? How much cheaper is it?
So at the moment we plan to charge 0.5% in fees.
Okay.
That's
how much is the current market? What's the current market? Is it higher? Hopefully it is.
Yeah, it's around what you said, 2 to 3%.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
The market leader in terms of fractionalization in Australia is Domacom.
Yeah. Okay. Yes.
And secondly, one thing that there is actually two things that we have on top of what they do. Number one, we plan to partner up with the market makers so we can actually offer enhanced liquidity, so people can actually come in and out of a property a lot faster. And with property, we'll know that it's a very hard asset to buy and sell. It's not like, I don't know, jewelry or other things. And secondly, another step a bit more down the line is to enable investors to have a better yield by allowing them to wrap their tokens in another blockchain and get a higher yield on top of the, let's say, property appreciation and the yield that you get from renting it.
That's a further bonus, right, around it? Yeah. Is that correct?
Right? Exactly. Yeah.
And so, but I think what's really interesting for me are the three things. Basically, instead of 2 to 3% of fees, you can do it at 0.5%. The other thing is that people have enhanced liquidity. They can come in and out of the deal, as you described, very, very quickly. The third thing that I think is even more interesting across all this is the idea of opening up to a larger pool of investors, Dan. Does that make sense?
Definitely.
Right? That's the key thing when I think about why the market maker, the real estate owner, right? I'm building a building. Why am I using your platform? Yeah, your fees are cheaper. That's okay for you, okay? We might get more Australians to kind of come on board, but because you've built your platform, now everyone in the world that wants to come in can come in, correct? Right? That, I think, is the big value, right? Being able to do this and being able to have more people that want to buy, okay? Right? And that's kind of where I think the magic is. And those are the things that I would enhance because that just makes a lot of sense. Now, do you have some traction, right, Dan? Do you have some market makers that are on board? Tell us a little bit about the traction.
So at the moment, we are in discussion with T0, which is basically the one of the largest market makers, especially in the tokenization space. They probably in the tokenization space they probably have like 95% of the liquidity providing basically.
Yeah.
With that being said, it's to a certain degree early stage
But can you give me the name of that company again? Give me the name of the company.
T0, the letter T.
T0. Yeah. Okay. Of course. Yeah. So I'm talking about like in the people that are offering the fractional real estate. Do you have a real estate player as well? Do you have somebody in the space that's going to use because you need supply and demand, right? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Are you building that up? Are you looking to make that happen right now? Because you're at the MVP stage, right? Is that right?
Yeah. Okay. That's a direction in which we're going. In the beginning, it was a bit easier just because I'm also a property developer. We sort of tokenized one of the units that we are going to be creating.
Okay, awesome. So that's interesting to know that you're actually a developer yourself. Good for you.
Yeah, it's
excellent. So, Dan, I'm going to give it a shot. Okay. This might be my last pitch of today, I think. Right. So I'm going to focus a little bit about the value proposition, Dan. Okay. I really want that to come in. Right. And you're going to be an investor. Again, how much are you looking to raise? You said 1 million, right? 1 million in funding.
Yes.
Okay. Right. So let's give it a go. You can kick off by introducing yourself. And I will attempt to give you a pitch back. We're hitting the top. Okay. Over to you, Dad. Go ahead.
Hi, Ash. Nice to see you again. What's exciting?
Hi, Dad. Great to connect. Again, I am part of the HeroX team. As you are a property developer and an investor, and you know a lot about the space, you might know that blockchain has really changed the paradigm for real estate investing and the ecosystem in general. Okay. What we've discovered, and we've built this platform, we have the HeroX platform that enables us to actually create a next generational fractional investment platform that's on chain, on the blockchain. And what does that mean, right? I mean, I've used a lot of buzzwords, but what it means is that we can now offer a property developer like yourself that has a condominium that's coming for sale, the opportunity for anyone to be able to make fractional investments. And we only charge a 0.5% fee, which is 5 times cheaper than what people are currently offering. We also allow them a quick and easy way to come in and out of the transaction. But most importantly, using our platform, you can get fractional investors, not just from Australia and New Zealand, but from around the world. And so we allow the developers to put their properties on our platform, and we are hoping that their platforms will sell faster and they'll be able to capitalize what they need to do much faster as well as a result. We've got some great traction on the business. I have a great team. I've been a property developer, and I think this is the next big thing, and I'm dedicating most of my time to make this happen. We're looking for $1 million in funding to make sure this works. We have a couple of pilots that we want to run in Melbourne to make it work. And then we hope that we can take this to the next level and build a platform that's going to become the next generation real estate portal. I'd love to chat to you over a coffee to share more about what we're doing, talk a bit about the technology, and show you how we're going to disrupt the real estate sector. Thank you.
That's amazing. When can I become an investor?
Anytime. I got to put you in touch with my boss, Dan. Okay. He's a smart guy, but he's the CEO. So I'll put you in touch with him and you can talk to him. So Dan, what I wanted to do was drive the value proposition, the problem you're solving. Okay. Problem you're solving for investors, problem you're solving for the developers. I tried to weave it in, right? What do developers want? They want their capital as soon as possible, right? And they want to be able to offer a cheap way for them to make sure that the person who's investing, most of the money goes to them. It doesn't go to fees, okay? And they also don't want their person to be locked in. You want to offer, a developer wants to offer liquidity, okay? So you can invest now when I have my drawings, okay? You can also invest when we have our first, we start digging, and you can leave whenever you want, no problem. You don't have to wait 3 years, okay? And we have this process, and the property is going to be worth more. You're a developer, right? Right now it's just land, okay? Then it's this, and it's worth more, and then in Singapore they call it TOP, right? When it's ready for people to actually live there, right? Getting these processes together, but mapping that out, Dan, specifically for the developer and specifically for the investor, and then being in a position where imagine you can get like a lineup of people from around the world, right? In places like Singapore, you have these people, they spend millions of dollars for these showroom flats, right? Okay. And you have people coming in and there's a big lineup and all that stuff. Now it's COVID. People don't do that anymore, right? And why do you only have to limit yourself to people that can drive to this show flat in Singapore or Melbourne? You should have a virtualized environment. They all come in and they can make their fractional investment. They can invest $1,000 or $1 million, and they go through that process. And that's the future, Dan. And that's what I want you to visualize for the investor. Okay, that is the future. Your platform is going to power it, but you got to tell them what that future is going to be, and that's going to be the process that makes success, Dan. Does that make sense?
That's amazing. Amazing clarity.
Thank you. So again, love what you're doing, right? You're giving an opportunity for everybody to have a role to play in the real estate game. We live in a world today, and we're coming back to why we exist, right? When we think about the Hyper Accelerator program, yes, Dan, you will be successful, just like Bala and Rama and some of the other amazing people we've spoken today. But more importantly, we are offering opportunities for everyday people to play a role and increase their net worth through real estate. It shouldn't be limited just to the rich people, right? So we are giving access through the HeroX platform. So again, we want to thank you for sharing with us and being part of our program. And we hope that we can give the same opportunities that, the rich people in the real estate space in Australia and Asia Pacific and the world have through your platform. All right, Dan, thank you very much for your time today.